Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Generally Mismanaged. I'm your host, Renato Paniagua, here once again with my good friend, Miggy. How are you doing, man?
Doing good.
Okay. Well, we had a weekend of upsets of sorts. I mean, upsets and kind of like a mixture of the two.
First half upset.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, we said on the last one, I wonder which team's going to show up.
Right.
You spoke about the Houston Texans. When we were talking about the wild card game.
Right.
You were saying, I wonder which Houston Texans team that's going to get picked up. You said you wonder which Houston Texans team is going to show up. And you know what? We'll get to which team showed up, but in the divisional, both teams showed up.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, whatever. I mean, which game do you want to start off with, Migs?
We need to start with the wild card.
Oh, right. The wild card. Okay, Migs. Which game do you want to start with?
We'll start with the Houston Texans and the Buffalo Bills. Because that was chronologically the first game.
Yeah, that was. Okay. I wasn't expecting the Bills to come starting off with like a 16-point lead. Not to say that Josh Allen isn't like how do I put it? I don't know. I feel like the Texans are such an on and off team, especially with the personnel that they have, especially on the defense. Like, I know Romeo Crennel kind of like I know. He was pretty good for a while, you have to admit. Like, Romeo Crennel, like eventually your stuff is gonna kind of like not work anymore at some point, especially like for the old timers like him and like Wade Phillips, who also like kind of like left the Rams.
So the difference was Wade Phillips didn't shit the bed in the playoffs.
Well, he didn't make it to the playoffs this year, Miggy.
Well, last year. His defense did well in the playoffs last
year.
Year.
Yeah, they did. They held up. But it's kind of ironic because, and we'll get to it, but like the Texans had to come back from a 16-point deficit.
They used all their bullshit magic right
for that one.
They need to do what the Seahawks do, and they just use just enough to barely pull out the win.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference is Bill O'Brien said, "Fuck it, we're gonna throw it all in right now. We can beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead without bullshit magic," and they had a little left over.
So they just cashed in all their karma points and finally like came back from this 16-point hole that they put themselves in.
100%.
Well, that's kind of ironic, Miggy.
No, I know it is.
It's kind of ironic.
Why do you think I'm saying that?
I mean, I don't know. Well, what were your thoughts on the game?
Not too much, considering I came in at the end of the third quarter because I slept in.
Right. Well, it was if coming from like I'm not like I don't really mind any kind of offense or defense. I mean, I'm a defensive guy, but I know a lot of people don't like those defensive games. That's what it kind of was. Even though the Bills were definitely 16 points up.
The score was still 0-0.
Yeah, it was still kind of like, at any point the Texans could score a touchdown and be in the game or whatever. But they didn't pick up until like when you started coming in. The first half was, besides those 16 points, it wasn't much. It wasn't much. It wasn't anything. It finally cranked up to 11 when like the Texans were like, okay, we're going to lose if we don't like get going. And it's funny because I remember a stat going into that game was that each time the Texans were in like the playoffs, they never scored like
in the first half
at all, dude. And it carried on. They were lucky enough that they were playing.
Maybe the new thing should be when the Texans are in the playoffs, there's always a half where they don't do anything on offense.
Yeah. I mean, I think so, but I think that's because it's Bill O'Brien. I feel like Bill O'Brien's not really like he's kind of like he'll take you to the playoffs,
and then he
won't get you through.
He'll say we did it. Well, I think another thing comes down to the fact that like there's always a whipping boy in the AFC South. There's always some team or two teams that are just so bad that you can beat up on. I mean, if the Colts are good, the Titans or the Jaguars suck. Because the thing is, the Houston Texans are, as long as people are healthy, the Texans are always a decent team.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always one or two teams in the AFC South that's just in a world of suck. Okay, I forgot who coined that phrase.
I don't know.
But it's a bad coach can stay a bad coach as long as he's in a bad division. I mean, Packers fans will look at Mike McCarthy and they'll say Mike McCarthy was a crappy coach. He wasn't a great coach. By no means was McCarthy a great coach. But he could almost always win the division because before Bridgewater, the Vikings were kind of a joke.
Right. I mean, they had that little span with Favre for like, what, 2 years or something? And then he threw
But even that just felt phony. Because you don't think of, yes, Brett Favre played some great football for the Vikings, but you didn't look at the Vikings as
threats,
super big threats. Now, mind you, they could have won the Super Bowl in, was it 2011?
Yeah,
they could have, and
or that year that was it? What
that
year
was that was the Bounty Gate year.
Okay, no, but it was another one where when they just needed to beat Seattle with a field goal and it was a wide left.
That
was a divisional, right?
That was divisional.
Yeah, so they would have gone to the championship.
Because then the Seahawks went and got destroyed by not destroyed, but they lost to the Panthers.
Right.
Who then lost to the Broncos.
That would have been a.
You know, it's weird actually. Now the Seahawks are the team in the NFC West with. I'm gonna shut up now.
We'll put a pin on that, maybe.
Put a pin on that. I'll come back to that later.
But from what you did see, like in the game, like
they just looked strange. But with the AFC South, like I was saying, the reason Bill O'Brien, who's a fair, and I'm being generous, fair coach, he's good enough to beat the worst teams, but not good enough to consistently play up to the level of competition.
Right. I can agree with that because
let's be honest, the Jaguars are straight shit this year. They were.
Oh no, they are, and which is funny because they're sticking with Doug Marrone too.
Yeah, I think it's that one year is gonna buy Marrone 3 or more. One really good year, can buy your coach 3 more years.
Oh, of course. I mean, look what happened with the Atlanta and Dan Quinn. Like, they played hard the last final games, and he's still the head coach.
He's gonna be there this next year, but he's definitely on the hot seat.
Oh no, like again with Marrone, Quinn, they're on the hot seat immediately once the next season starts.
Right, and I think though, like the thing though, getting back to the AFC South.
Right.
And I'm right about the AFC South this time.
Yeah, you are.
It's gonna be interesting. I think all the coaches in the AFC South are gonna be there next year, unless something crazy happens. And
well, I think we could safely say that
Josh McDaniels, head coach of the Texans.
We'll see, dude, because Bill, he might get fired, but
he's not.
I doubt it too.
He should have been already.
But like Vrabel's fine. He's staying with Tennessee.
Well, getting into Tennessee, why is Vrabel staying with Tennessee? Let's go to the Wild Card weekend.
The greatest game on Saturday, dude. The greatest game.
It was a game, all right.
It was I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but watching Mike Vrabel pull some Belichick level shit on Belichick.
And watching Belichick get
so
angry.
mad. I know, so mad at the fact that he got a taste of his own medicine. It was chef kiss.
This is when Darth Vader lifts the Emperor up as he's lightning Luke and just throws him down the shaft and he explodes. And then he gets to come back 30 years later with really fucked up fingers and shit. And it's...
But... honestly,
so in
Derrick
30 years,
Henry,
Belichick's gonna be back in the Super Bowl. Now,
he's probably gonna, but he's gonna be all wrinkled.
He's gonna be on a ventilator.
Yeah,
he's just gonna be sitting there. He's gonna be like,
he's gonna be an iron lung dude.
Gonna go, do it.
He's still calling plays with his iron lung and everything.
Sir, halfback dive. He's like, do it.
Do it. But going back to the game, Derrick Henry, man, like he pretty much is the
Derrick Henry, man.
Yeah, that's it, dude.
That's it.
It's Derrick Henry and the Tennessee
I'm
Titans.
surprised that the Titans haven't been flagged yet for literally bringing a bulldozer onto the field and just running through the defense.
Dude, Derrick Henry is massive.
I guarantee you he could put up the exact same amount of yards if Ryan Tannehill was on his back and
Yeah, if he was carrying him like a backpack or something.
I was gonna say, what's it called when you hold him on your back? And
like a horseback or something like that. I don't know what it's called.
Man.
I forgot what it's called.
Derrick Henry running on all fours, going through the defense.
Yeah, let's just make it harder on the guy. The only way you can do it is if you run on all fours.
And then Derrick Henry would get flagged after he scores a touchdown by lifting his leg up.
Oh my god!
And just pissing all over the other team. Yeah, he did though.
Yeah, I mean he really did. What he ran for 185 yards or something like that.
Derrick Henry's proving he was the best running back in the same class as Christian McCaffrey.
No, yeah, definitely. It just took him a little while to get it going because I mean he had that 1 year he was behind DeMarco Murray. That 1 year.
I mean, then there was the year he took over DeMarco Murray.
Yeah, right. But even he kind of struggled in that year. I remember that year.
It was last year.
Was it last year? No, it was 2 years ago.
Oh, it was last year.
When
this
he
is DeMarco
struggled?
Murray. This is
DeMarco Murray wasn't there.
This is fuck.
Wrong.
No,
Wrong.
This is his third year. This is Derrick Henry's third year.
I don't believe that. Really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Time has. Wow, I don't know why it's gone so slow. And in my head, it feels like he's been in the league for so long already.
Well, think of it like this. Who was the running back? Who's running back for Alabama?
Right now?
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know. I have no idea. I don't follow college.
That dude.
That one
dude.
guy.
Yeah, that guy. Before him, it was Derrick Henry.
And before him was
Mark Ingram. I don't know if it was actually. I think Mark Ingram's older than that.
Yeah, I don't know, but it doesn't matter.
It might have been Mark Ingram, somebody, then Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I guess was it? No, I don't know. I was gonna say T.J. Yeldon, but I don't know. I think it could have been because I know the Jacksonville Jaguars drafted him, but I don't know if he was Alabama.
I'm not gonna look it up.
Yeah, me neither. I don't. I'm not. We're not here to talk about college
football.
Fuck
Bama.
But going back to the game,
joking.
I don't know what. I don't even know what. Obviously, the Patriots' offense was completely stagnant.
But I mean, we knew that
I don't think we knew that. But I don't think we were gonna understand how bad it could get once they were playing first of all in the playoffs, and then second of all, a Tennessee Titan defense who has actually been really physical and really fast.
And that's actually gonna play in very. That's going to be a big point no matter who they play. You got to have that speed on defense.
No, dude, what is it? Jeffrey Simmons, you got Jarrell Casey, you got your Kevin Byard.
I was going to say, Kevin Byard's going to fucking kill someone.
Kevin Byard, Logan Ryan. You still have Adoree Jackson. You have
where's Malcolm Butler?
He's hurt. I think he's hurt, yeah. But you still have, Woodyard, and you have a bunch of other guys, first-round talent on your defense, and, they're fast.
Yeah.
And we saw it happen. I mean, we'll speak about it later, but you put that up against Tom Brady, who literally can't move.
Speed and Tom Brady don't really go together.
Yeah, no, they don't, and they proved it. That defense was shut down, and without
milk and kitty litter.
For real though, seriously, you can see how much they miss Gronk. One guy. Gronk, that's it. Julian Edelman.
Thank God they got Mohamed Sanu this year.
Yeah, brushes off all the dust.
Honestly, the Patriots. I was surprised. I thought the Patriots were kind of. What is it not trying to tip their hand? I thought the Patriots were saving all this stuff for the playoffs that they were planning. Mm-hmm. And if this is what they were saving, holy shit, it was bad.
I mean, I don't think there was any other way to put it. It was just terrible.
It really was.
I've never seen the offense like that. I know we've had previous years where maybe Brady wasn't perfect, we're used to seeing.
2012.
Yeah, right. So it's not that Brady can't. It hasn't been kind of crap before. It just you could see that for once Brady literally couldn't carry his team at all.
But I think it's always been Brady is not the guy who can carry his team. And I honestly do not believe in any team that needs one guy to carry them all the way. over a long stretch of time. For Brady,
it's kind of like a short term answer rather than long term.
yeah, like Derrick Henry can carry a team for a couple weeks, but even then the wheels are gonna fall off.
Well, look, the same thing happened with Baltimore too.
No,
Kind of.
we're in the wild card right now. Nothing's happened yet.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm kidding.
We're gonna hurry through these next. Okay, so we'll hurry through the next game that we're gonna talk about. Seahawks Eagles. We know how that ended. All right, now
There's really nothing to say other than like, wow, Jadeveon Clowney didn't get fined. First of all,
he wasn't gonna know.
Oh my god! But damn it. I mean, again, this is bias. I'm not gonna say anything other than that. But like, yeah. Once Carson Wentz was out, Josh McCown with a torn hamstring, and then crying afterwards. I was like, yeah, that's not gonna save you guys. I'm sorry.
You know what would have been worse though?
What
if they won? And then.
Well, Carson Wentz was like 1 week.
Concussion protocols, I think, too, it's you have to miss the next game. I thought with concussion protocol, so they don't have Josh McCown. Legit, it could. I don't know what the rules are for signing free agents in the playoffs because I see all these teams are signing people to future contract. Maybe I don't know how it works.
I mean, you could because they didn't like the Seahawks. Did the Seahawks? Did they pick? No, they picked up Marshawn before they played us.
Right. So that's why I don't know what the rules are. Imagine if like. Oh man! Imagine if the Eagles had won and they had to go into their divisional game with a punter at quarterback.
That'd be awful.
It would be really awful.
That punter went from like getting zero contact to all of a sudden. Yeah. Getting sacked.
Punter retires before the game.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done. I'm dude, you're 24. I'm done.
He's in his 30s, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well, yeah, punters are always like in their 30s. I don't think except for Bradley Pinion and Wisnowski, but everyone else is old as fuck. But beyond that, dude.
Bradley Pinion.
Yeah. But beyond that, I don't think there's much.
You smell that? That's a 27-yard punt.
Oh yeah.
It either drops in the 10 or it goes out of bounds right.
It was just inconsistent. Yeah. It was really terrible. Sometimes you got a really good punt. Sometimes you got a shitty one.
And considering how much he punted, you needed some consistency.
Yeah, you really did. But whatever. Eagles, bye. Like, legit, sorry. You never had a chance. Poof.
Now, I know chronologically this was not the last game, but this was the most interesting game of Wild Card Weekend. A team that had no right to be in the Wild Card Weekend going up against a team that some might have said had no right to be in the playoffs. The Saints versus the Vikings. Our predictions, I said, was a blowout. I said, and I quote, I said Sean Payton was going to rest his starters in the second half, and you said you could see a 31-17 win by the Saints. Well...
Keeping the receipts, Mickey?
Keeping the receipts. I will say this. Sean Payton's starters never came out. Or let me rephrase that. They never came in. Because the team played like complete ass for the first like half of the game. Then said, oh damn, we need to try and win this. And, is the window shut for the Saints? Is the window shut? Because it's not a guarantee Breeze comes back. I'm pretty sure he does, but it's not a guarantee by any means.
I think Breeze is still capable of maybe like 1 or 2 good years. Kind of like almost sort of like Brady, but I don't think he's like... I'm not saying he's holding.
It was like they did better
with Teddy.
With Teddy,
like
and
even
Taysom.
though they were getting like through tough games that were close, you could argue that Teddy has a little bit more potential. Not to mention he's younger, and he still was winning games. And even though they were ugly games, you were still winning them. With Drew back, it felt like I don't know. It felt like with Teddy, I felt like the defense was shining a lot. At some points, because you're like, okay.
What's weird? All their losses this year came with Breeze.
Yeah. So you're kind of like, you wonder yourself, and you go, obviously this is just hypothesis, but it's just like, maybe you do close the chapter on Breeze.
Because he's a free agent, but they're not going to let him go.
No, he's going to retire.
Unless, Philip Rivers retires, the Chargers might want to pull it back.
Nothing says, like, Super Bowl bound than, like, trading one 40-year-old
No, I mean, he might retire. Philip Rivers, I mean.
No, yeah, I know, but
just imagine the chaos if Breeze ends his career
in the team that he got traded from.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you?
He and Eli have to fight for that spot.
Do you honestly say the Saints told him, "Hey, we're not gonna want to sign you"?
I mean, they're going to, but if in the case they didn't, and the Chargers said you're the one piece we need, you're gonna have Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry. You're gonna have a good run game with Austin Eckler or Melvin Gordon if he comes back, and then you're gonna have a stout defense. Just don't throw picks.
Please don't throw picks.
We can win the West.
There's a high possibility that you could win, as long as you can protect Breeze.
And then Mahomes is like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna just throw 14 touchdowns in the 2 games we play."
For real, dude. He went well.
But anyway, no.
I think the Vikings just.
I mean, at the end of it, the Saints. I think their window is almost shut, if not completely. Drew Brees is going to retire, member of the Chargers.
But their window for a Super Bowl.
Chargers legend Drew Brees.
Just plays for 2 years in San Diego.
He's
a legend.
1
year. I don't. So are you saying the window for a potential Super Bowl is over just because Drew Brees might be out, or because their roster's relatively young?
But the problem is you can have a decent team all around, but if you don't have a quarterback, you're not. I know now people say I've read this. You don't need a quarterback to win the Super Bowl, and that's right. You don't. But if you don't have the quarterback, you need everything else to be damn near perfect. And the run game's kind of looked shit.
Yeah,
it really is. Aside from Taysom Hill, the run game has not looked very good. You have to do this gimmicky stuff to get your plays. They pick up on these gimmicks. I think the newest gimmick in the NFL is this stupid 6-1 defense I've been seeing more and more of.
Really? I don't...
Have you seen that?
I don't think I have.
Patriots have been running the 6-1.
They've been lining up 6 guys in the front.
One linebacker. That was their anti-Henry defense. They tried in the second half.
They just held him stack the box.
And guess who else did the 6-1? The Ravens. When they ended up playing
the Titans.
But we're not
Spoiler
there yet.
alert!
Spoiler, we just said the Titans won. Titans won against the Patriots. We don't know how the Titans did against the Ravens yet. We're not too sure.
Right.
No. But these gimmicky things, they don't last too long. That's why with mobile quarterbacks, they actually have to be good. So.
Do you think Lamar Jackson is a real deal?
I don't know. It's a Greg Roman offense. 2 years is usually when after 2 years is usually when the quarterback starts to eat shit. So I mean,
we'll see. We'll see into the upcoming year then.
Yeah, I mean, think about this. Okay, 49ers. Greg Roman was offensive coordinator under Jim Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
Get Kaepernick, make it super damn close to the Super Bowl, lose, then make the title game second year, lose.
No, we went to the NFC Championship.
That's
first.
what I said, the NFC title game.
Right, and then the next year we went to the Super Bowl and lost.
Right, but Kaepernick's first year
was right. You're talking about Kaepernick. I'm sorry. I take it back.
You're good. So, no, it's a Greg Roman offense is like a Wade Phillips defense. It's only got a couple years before it really just falls off a cliff.
Well, you can argue that Wade is just that he was losing so many pieces.
Mm-hmm. No, you're 100% right about that. But getting back to the whole Vikings-Saints thing, I was surprised the Vikings beat the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
I was happy. I'd rather play the Vikings than the... There's only one team in the NFC playoffs I would have rather played than the Vikings, and that was the Eagles.
Same.
With a punter at quarterback. And
that is if they won.
Yeah. But the Vikings are a scary team, and hopefully in the divisional, the Niners will be able to do something about that. Oh, on to the divisional.
Well, on to the divisionals.
First game of the divisional, Niners-Vikings.
I'm not going to lie to you. I was super nervous beforehand. I just want to say, I'm actually one of those gullible guys that, once he gets, cause for me, I'm a very, emotional, fan.
I try and be very objective with it.
Yeah, I know you do. That's why I'm glad you text me, because you kind of put me in my place and go, Nato, calm down. We're still doing it. Come on, blah, blah, blah. For me, it's I was listening to ESPN, and I was getting pumped and getting ready for the game, and all I hear is, Oh yeah, no, the Vikings are gonna probably pull this one out.
Well, one thing, a picture I saw that kept getting shared around was like all those guys saying Vikings,
And then that one like Niner guy.
But there's actually something about that that's not true.
They're not choosing the Vikings. Yeah.
They were not choosing the Vikings to win the game. Right? It was over the spread.
Right.
The Niners over Vikings though was still a vast majority. Mm. So, spoiler alert, 49ers defeated the Vikings 28-10.
Yep. No, 27-10.
27-10.
And let me just say, the score doesn't reflect it, but that was complete and utter fucking dominance, dude.
It was.
That was the only game in the divisional that was like, oh, yeah, like that was not even relatively
There wasn't
close.
even a single score change.
No, and
it never got close.
If I remember correctly, the Vikings only converted 4 first downs. And then they held Dalvin Cook, who, by the way, like if anywhere you look, it doesn't. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand that. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand that. The key of the game was two of them. Stop Dalvin Cook. And keep Jimmy away, or like keep Danielle Hunter and Everson Griffin away from Jimmy Garoppolo.
Even though there was that scare on Jimmy earlier.
There was. And I know that Mike McGlinchey had that really weird, just that one drive where he let up. He did like the false start, and then he allowed Danielle Hunter to get to Jimmy, and Jimmy did that really like awful kind of like twist of the ankle.
Still threw the first down though.
He did. He did.
How would you feel about this hypothetical? You lose your quarterback in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl when you're up 14, and but on the play you lose your quarterback. He converts a first down to get first and goal, with you still having, let's say you're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. You're up 14. You're at the goal line, but you just lost your quarterback. Do you like your chances?
Yeah. I mean, if we're speaking strictly Niners, yes. I think our
fucking
Nick,
hell, man. Jimmy just looks down at you. He's like, you think Nick Mullins can do this?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I do.
Our big dick Nick is capable too. I think, and this is all speculation, obviously, but like I think he can handle the big lights. I think he really can. He's almost kind of like he's almost getting like that cool from Jimmy too.
Nick Mullins looks like he's still in high school.
Of course, but that's what he's gonna do.
That dude just like, yeah, I'm gonna go play some football. I'm gonna go out there.
We're just gonna go play the Raiders.
With my super hot wife afterwards too.
True.
Make another baby.
He's gonna have like 10 like Philip.
He's gonna be like Phillip Rivers.
Oh, we're just having our kid again. It's like, goddamn, dude.
No, but
going back to like the Niner game, we saw how impactful D Ford was, like right off the bat. Like it's insane how fast they got to Kirk Cousins. Like granted, they didn't always get sacks.
6 sacks though.
6. That's a lot. That's if I remember correctly, that's half a dozen, Miggy.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good
math numbers right there.
2 for Nick, 1 for DeForest, 1 for Eric, 1 for Solomon. Yeah.
Okay. I was watching the game with a family friend, and the Solomon Thomas sack and Nick Bosa's second sack were right after one another.
Right.
But on the Solomon Thomas sack, Anthony Zettel was in it.
Anthony Zettel, yeah.
And I remember sitting there, and I said, "Oh man, I think the Niners are putting in the backups because they think they think it's pretty well won."
Right.
And then on the next play, I see Nick Bosa in there, and I go, "Oh, that cheeky little bastard, Salah." And then Frank goes, "What's that?" And I said, "Zettel was just in. Zettel's not Nick Bosa, but they put him in so that way the lineman would be like, oh, it's just Zettel. They throw in another white guy. Oh, it must still be Zettel."
Yeah, no, that if that's actually true, that'd be pretty funny. Do you think that's like how Robert Saleh like kind of?
No, I don't think he planned it at all. But
I
think it happened. Go. I think it might have happened though.
What? No, but what about the freaking theatrics, man? The theatrics that Nick Bosa pulled when he got flattened, like he got kind of pancaked by D Ford, and then like he kind of like leaned back and he was like writhing in pain. Everyone got so silent.
Well, apparently the trainers were telling him just to breathe because he just had the wind knocked
out. No, yeah,
out.
I know, but like at that moment, because like we know about his core injuries in Ohio, So like we.
I thought it was shoulder.
Yeah, right, something like that, pec or shoulder or something. So like he was kind of like writhing, and everyone got so silent. But then
the chants,
the
chants, man.
Bosa, and then all of a sudden he had to get up, bro.
He got up
like the Undertaker.
Had he just done the
like the whole dung, and then, oh man.
Oh, if he had done that and then gotten up and like just choke slammed Kirk Cousins, I would have lost
the flag.
Just take the flag. No, if he does that, I'd rather him do it. And if the Niners were to, by some miracle make the Super Bowl, because we're still in the divisional,
right?
And if the Niners were to somehow make the Super Bowl and he choke slammed whoever the quarterback of the AFC team is, I'll take the fine. I'll take the penalty, just for the theatrics. Yeah, I'll pay it. Yeah, straight up out of my savings account.
Go take it. Take
$15,000, but we get a Super Bowl out of it. Go to the concussion protocol, Patrick. Choke slam.
But see, like that was my favorite moment of the game.
Oh yeah,
that was by far. I wasn't expecting to get obviously it was a pretty entertaining game, obviously from our end, but like that was just like the cherry on top. Like if you were the Vikings and all of a sudden that happened, I'd just be like, oh fuck, dude, there's like no way.
And actually for the Niners winning that game, I think the biggest win about that game was no injuries.
No, yeah, I know no one got hurt. And they were laying some heat. Like Jimmy Ward has always scared me. But like
I know when he blasted
Irv Smith,
Stephon Diggs.
Oh yeah, see, but
I was like, shit, there goes his shoulder.
But no, he was just like, Also,
now begins the Hall of Fame career of Jimmy Ward.
Jimmy Ward, he's like the next Ronnie Lott, but like a bit smaller.
I was gonna say Steve Atwater.
Him too, though.
With the injuries.
Wow, man, you just had to do my boy dirty like that.
Yeah, man.
Facts are facts, though.
Facts are facts.
But
facts don't care about your feelings, NATO.
But speaking of like the DBs, Akello, he's the only highlight.
He's the weak link. He really is the weak link on that.
And you said it best when you texted me. You were like, "Oh my goodness, this poor man isn't the same after his injury," and it's like it's so true. After that injury, I don't know if it was because he kind of lost a little bit of a step, or if he kind of like was scared, because the Akello, if I remember correctly, Akello comes from like a soccer background, right? Like he played soccer a lot. I think he did. I think he played soccer in college. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But you see, it's like night and day physicality between Emmanuel Moseley and Akello.
Akello's, I think. Okay, Akello is not as physical. I think Akello, though, I think he is better in coverage, like zone.
He's awful in man.
Yeah, and Mosley's a lot more physical. Like Mosley's scrappy.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Legit, kind of getting to the point where I think Mosley's like, he's eventually gonna get some flags thrown.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen when you don't want it. You know it's true.
I'm not gonna say anything.
But you know it's true.
God, no.
But
I just like that Emmanuel comes to play with some heat.
I just hope every time we have Emmanuel in, the refs are just like, we'll let him play.
I would hope so. I mean, that's the thing with the playoffs.
They seem
You're either gonna get a ref who's like, I have to call everything because I have to be consistent, or you're gonna have the ones that are like,
or just sitting on a lawn chair, drinking.
Oh, they're just fighting. Let them fight.
Sir, Myles Garrett isn't in the playoffs.
He puts on like a fake mustache and he's just like, oh yes, I am.
Like, my name is Harry Giles. Like, that's a basketball player.
Get out of here.
Yes.
But just like I think that taking out Akello was the right move. I know a lot of people. I think was it you who told me that like you really want me to take him out right away?
No, I wasn't ready to take him out.
I was immediately. I was like, I don't have time for this right now. I don't. So when Saleh or Kyle, I'm pretty sure they both made the decision, but they were like, nope, we're done. Send Emmanuel in. Completely different story, dude. There was no more like big plays at all.
Captain Kirk couldn't stop our enterprise. That was stupid.
Were you just brewing that in your mouth?
I was brewing it, yeah. Well, I knew where you were going with that, and so I was just like, all right, so where am I going to take this?
No, you're right. I don't know if it landed, but
It didn't land. It crash landed.
so
Fucking
like
Ronan.
the Saints. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, like I was very impressed with our defense. I know that we were always a really good defense.
Picked up.
Hmm?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
I said references don't get picked up.
No, of course not. Nope. They're all going over my head. But
Anyways.
the defense. I'm so happy that we finally got healthy at the right time. That
Yeah.
week was definitely like needed 100%.
I'm not 100% sure we win in the wild card.
Oh no, I don't. Who would have had to go in Philadelphia?
No. If we were
No,
the
yeah, we
5
would have
seed-
been the fifth because we would have been.
Oh, okay. Then maybe.
I like our chances against Philadelphia.
But then we'd have to go and play the Packers in Lambeau.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't like.
I don't
I
like
don't.
that.
You don't go. You don't want to go to Lambeau. Even though Aaron Rodgers, going into this week, was only 3-2 at Lambeau in the playoffs.
Right. Was he? I thought he was 8-1.
No, they were 8-1 in one-score games.
Right.
Season.
Right. My bad.
But no,
And they finally snapped the Seattle Seahawks like their away. Like
they
winning-
lost that when they played the Rams.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I'm all over the place now. I don't even care about the Seahawks.
No, I mean, there's a reason for that.
Yeah,
but anyways, getting on to the next game,
Mm.
I think I'm gonna save the two best games for the
Last.
finals. We're gonna go to the early Sunday game, the Houston Texans just shitting all over the Chiefs in the first quarter.
They're first quarter champs, dude.
They are the first quarter champs. We said what Houston team would show up in the wild card, and we got both in the wild card.
Now,
And both decided to also fly to Arrowhead because in the first quarter we got amazing football by Houston.
Yeah. And
Offense was clicking.
Awful.
And the defense really didn't need to do much because the Chiefs were just shooting themselves in the foot. But it all came down on a 4th and 1 deep in Chiefs territory. And good old Billy Boy O'Brien decides, I'm going to go for it. And then something goes wrong. They use a timeout. Not a good thing. Oh, well, they use their timeout now to kick a field goal. Why not just take the delay of game if you're going to end up kicking the field goal?
Right.
Okay, well, it's all right. You're up 24-0. Kickoff. Michael Hardman makes a guy miss. Oh, fuck. Michael Hardman, 70 yards. Down to the 30. Well, that's not good, but, I mean, they're going to score. You're not going to hold the Chiefs' scores. 3 plays later. Oh, that was pretty quick. It's all right. It's all right. We're getting the ball back. They haven't been able to stop us. We go 3 and out. Shit. All right. It's 4th and 5. We're going to punt it. We're in our own territory. Psych! Does this stupid
Fake
oh.
in their
And
own
it should have
territory.
worked. It should have worked, though.
It should have, but it's
But Daniel Sorensen just decided
no. He was like, no.
I needed to be a hero at this moment. The rest of his career, no one gives a fuck. But if
That's true.
the Chiefs end up winning it all, Daniel Sorensen better get a statue, okay?
He's gonna get
A statue bigger than the one Patrick Mahomes is inevitably going to get.
Right.
And, yeah, they stopped him. 3 plays later, another touchdown by the Chiefs. But it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, they scored 14 points. They scored 14 points in, what, a minute?
So,
Barely a minute. It's all right, though. We still have a 10-point lead. And our offense, they're going to stop us on defense eventually. We can score. Just get the offense back out there. Kickoff. Fumbled. Who forced the fumble? Daniel Sorensen. They get the fumble. Could have returned it for a touchdown, but the guy started gloating, and
yeah, right.
then the offense just came out and punched it in.
They basically just finished him off.
3 minutes and 23 seconds ended up passing between the 2 touchdowns.
That's crazy.
Between the 3
was
touchdowns.
3. It was 3.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns.
They basically scored 3 touchdowns in a minute. 1 touchdown every minute.
Yeah, and then, guess what?
Nothing. The Texans did nothing.
Texans don't do anything for the rest of the game. Basically, for a touchdown they get at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, that's it.
But the final score was what?
51-31.
51-31. Now, here's the crazy thing. You get rid of that stupid play calling in those 3 minutes by the Houston Texans. Houston Texans, and I'm going to make the assumption you get the touchdown instead of the field goal. You end up winning 35-30 over the Kansas City Chiefs.
You think so, or do you think like that, like a comeback was already set? Kind of like if you go back and look at that.
If you don't get the momentum,
right?
If the Chiefs don't get the momentum, they don't roll. They.
I mean, couldn't that be said for any team pretty much? Like it's like if you're
right, but it was, but I think it was so apparent, and yeah, it was just it was hell. It was hell for Houston.
I don't know if you saw I was Snapchatting.
I think this was the worst thing that's happened to Houston in the last 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Dude, they
storms are coming.
They blew
7 storms coming.
Oh my. Let's see how many people pick up on that one. We'll see, but
God, anyone will.
I think it's embarrassing because you just dropped a 24-point lead.
Womp womp.
Like it's, I know. Granted, I know people can say, "Oh, it's just the first quarter. Like a lot could happen," but 24.
The thing is, it's hard to outscore any team in the NFL. It really is. It's even harder to come back when you're down by 24 points.
But when you have Patrick Mahomes, fucking Magic Man, just.
But again, that shouldn't have been enough. Well, Houston just laid out a big fat old shit right all over the field, and they decided to. They lost because of it.
It's terrible.
Because you text me, you were like, "Oh man, Houston's gonna get to host the championship game."
Yeah.
And then Patrick Mahomes said, "Nope,
nope,
nope,
nope." And then, did you see my Snapchats? I was Snapchatting.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Because okay,
every score you're like
deep down. Even though, in a way, I knew the Chiefs were gonna win. I was really rooting for the Texans. I don't know why. Everyone has asked me.
You like J.J. Watt.
I like J.J. I like Deshaun. I love DeAndre Hopkins. I know he's a shit talker, but he's.
Nope.
No, yeah.
Is it Nuck or Nuke?
I think it's Nuck.
I thought so.
Yeah.
It's Nuck, yeah.
But when they were up 24, I know you saw my Snapchat. It was like something like, "Oh, heavy breathing." It was like asterisk heavy breathing. So like I'm.
You should have been like, "Don't fuck this up."
No, I was just like, "Don't." I was just like heavy breathing.
Because then you could have been at the end like, "They fucked it up."
Yeah, I know. So I just progressive, like you could see my sadness just keep on coming. It's just like, oh. I was like, oh, I put oh, so it begins. And the next one is just the score. The next one's like, oh God, no. And then the last one's
you should have had the oh crap, oh shit, oh.
Oh, I know, but I was just like in the moment. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. And then at the very last one, I was just like, go Tennessee.
It was. I don't have anything against the Chiefs, honestly.
I don't have anything.
Chiefs and Niners have always had a good relationship between the two teams. You know, I remember a guy told me that someday Jimmy G is going to look good in a Chiefs uniform. But
that back. I mean, if in his twilight years, yeah, sure, bye.
As long as then we get Trevor.
Trevor Lawrence.
No, it's a joke. It was a stupid low effort joke. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
I pray to God we don't get in the Trevor Lawrence sweepstake next year. But no, really, I think the less said to Houston or about Houston, probably the better.
Yeah.
Now at this point.
I just don't know how to describe them.
I don't know where you go.
Yeah, because they're like, obviously Bill O'Brien being your GM, trading away your future first rounders. I know that he garnered, Laramie Tunsil and Kenny Stills.
He fires himself.
I hereby fire
Bill O'Brien as head coach. We are bringing in Josh McDaniels.
But Bill O'Brien stays as GM.
Yeah, that's the
that's the trade. That's the big dick move right there, dude. God damn it! But
they'd have a better chance to win a Super Bowl doing that.
Probably, but I honestly don't see them. As much as I love that team, I love how it's I love the players and everything. it doesn't seem like they're going anywhere. Having Vernon Hargreaves and who else is in the back? Like no one even knows who the fucking. I know
Sutton
that
Johnson.
Yeah, Bradley Roby's your only consistent guy, but even he was getting torched. Obviously, going against Tyreek Hill, you're gonna get torched eventually.
The Houston Texans have like a subpar secondary. I would say.
Really do, and then Whitney Merciless has become like super inconsistent. The only guy that was being consistent out there was J.J. Watt. Like
even he couldn't.
He couldn't get
he was gassed.
What do you expect? Like he's coming off.
I kept messaging you saying, "Well, on the bright side, the Kansas City defense is staying out there more." But then the more I got realizing, I was like, "Shit, though." Like
J.J. Watt's, he's getting frustrated. It's kind of sad because like he's the only one like.
J.J. Watt demands a trade.
He's like, I'm leaving this fucking place.
He gets his like, what is it, like $300,000-$500,000 Winnebago and just fucking goes somewhere.
Just leaves.
Yeah.
But honestly, watching that game, I felt sad because it just looked like it looked like I don't understand. I don't see how a team can like look at that and go, "Wow, I'm excited for next season." It's like how do you even emerge from that? Look at the Falcons.
I saw this picture of the Houston Texans logo slowly turning into the Atlanta Falcons logo.
Yeah, that was funny.
I saw one of the lion, the lion coming out of the ocean saying "I want to die," but it was the Houston Texans logo. So I don't know. I think we should move on from the Texans. Their fans already have.
R.I.P. Texans.
Rest in spaghetti.
Rest in spaghetti.
All right, getting to the. I'm going to say the second most interesting game. The Sunday night game.
Mm-hmm. Tennessee and...
No, Sunday night.
God damn it, Mickey. I'm sorry. I'm scrambled.
You're good. It's Packers-Seahawks. It was the second most interesting game, but it was by far the most stressful.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, just for that one night. I was go, Pack, go.
I was a cheesehead.
I was a cheesehead too, dude.
So the winner of this game gets to go to Santa Clara.
Mm-hmm.
It was Packers-Seahawks. Kickoff was at 3:40.
Yeah, it was almost immediately after the Kansas City game.
Yeah,
that was a stressful game.
Which was weird. The first half was all Packers, 14-3,
mm-hmm.
if I recall correctly.
Yep.
And
again, like the score doesn't really show it, but they were dominating, like the shitty Seattle Seahawk line. Like their center, I think it's their backup center for Seattle.
Brett?
No.
Shit.
Ford, I think, or something. I forgot.
Now Poona Ford's their D tackle.
Oh, you're right. Okay, I don't know his name, dude.
Because he's a white dude who shouldn't have been playing.
He was a white dude with long hair.
Yeah.
He was. He had I believe, if I remember correctly.
Brunette Clay Matthews.
Yeah, dude, exactly. If I remember correctly, he had like a 9 out of 100, like a 9 PFF like.
No, yeah, he's
pass blocking score.
Good Lord, one of the worst centers in football.
That was incredible.
And Pete Carroll decides, yep, I'm sticking with that.
That's, oh my goodness. And then you have Ifedi, who's been.
I remember listening to Seahawk fans saying, "Oh man, if we get Dwayne Brown and Ifedi back, we're winning this game."
Well, you guys got both.
Yeah, both back. And
yeah.
Well, what ended up happening was the Packers and Seahawks ended up for about, I'd say, a quarter going between a 18-point deficit. One team would score and the other team would score. And at one point, the score was, if I recall correctly, 28-10.
Was it 10? Yes.
So, did the Packers get 21 points before half?
I'm not sure if they did.
They might have. But, anyways, the game should be done. Or it should be pretty much set in stone. Because once you get a 4-score lead, even a 3-score lead, it's very hard to come back from. It's basically over. Especially because the Seahawks hadn't had any answers for the Packers' offense all night.
Right.
And then the Packers decide to stop playing offense.
That I'm so happy you brought that up, Miggy, because that's what I think is like the major weakness of the Packers.
They play. It's so strange. They're so inconsistent.
Right.
They can play really good against a mid-tier offense, a mid-tier defense, and then look like complete crap against the Lions.
Yep. And that's how it felt going into this game, where I was like, my brother and I were happy, obviously, but going into the second half, I was like, dude, watch out, because even though I don't really like him, I don't mind him as a person.
I respect the hell out of him.
Yeah, I respect him and whatever. But don't count him out. He might have Jermaine Ifedi and that stupid center and whoever the guys out there not block him for shit. But this guy's going to find a way to get it down the field, find a way to get it to Tyler Lockett or DK Metcalf, and that's about it. I'm tired of hearing all about Marshawn stuff. Like, I know Marshawn's a interesting dude, but
I saw so many people saying feast mode when he kept getting 2 yards.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, dude, calm down. He's just there for goal line.
Feast mode. That's
right. So
that was the nickname for Eddie Lacy for a while.
Oh yeah, he's still feast moding, dude, forever. But like, if you remember this name, like he was essentially playing Anthony Dixon.
No, yeah.
Like when Anthony Dixon was in the Niners, all he was there for is being that big old like wrecking ball at the goal line.
This has always been something I've wondered, but like, you know the kneel down formation.
Mm-hmm.
Can you run a fake kneel down?
I'm not sure. Because
here's a question for you. You get your backup quarterback to go in and take the snap, okay? You need 1 yard.
Wouldn't that immediately raise flags in a way?
Oh, it will. But you only need 1 yard.
Right.
You put your backup quarterback in and kneel it down. You take your running back out and you put in your defensive tackle. You take your fullback out, you put in another defensive tackle. And your tight end out and you put in another defensive tackle. The quarterback sneaks, and the defensive tackles just shove the whole line back the other way. I've thought about this. Would that not be legal? Does he have to fumble the snap first? Like,
yeah, I'm not too sure because like victory. I'm pretty sure they call. I don't know if they
victory
call it
formation.
Victory formation. Yeah, I'm not too sure because like I don't know, dude.
Just shoving through,
It just basically becomes like a quarterback sneak almost.
No, it is 100% a quarterback sneak. It's a quarterback sneak
disguised in a QB kneel.
As a QB, well, no, you know it's going to be, but this way you get all the guys back there. It's a quarterback sneak with damn near 1,000 pounds pushing back,
and like the other guys are going to try unless they're the Seahawks.
Oh, and the offensive line's also pushing. It's legit, and this is why you put in the backup quarterback because that dude's about to get smashed.
Right.
Like, he's going head into back of offensive linemen, D-line just pushing down. All he has to do is stay standing up.
Keep on talking, Mix, because I'm looking it up because now I'm curious. I'm gonna look it up if you can fake a QB kneel.
Because if you do that, is it stoppable?
I think if one team does it, all it takes is one. If one team were to do it, then I feel like if it's a QB kneel, the defense would always would be on their toes like immediately. Because like it doesn't happen. Let's see. Rule 7, Section 2, Article 1. An official shall declare the ball dead and the down ended when a quarterback immediately drops to his knee behind the line of scrimmage. What do you think if someone goes...
you can do a fake QB spike.
Right.
So why not a fake kneel?
Because I think... I don't... Because he's in... Then you don't have to kneel then. The thing is that if your quarterback takes the snap and doesn't kneel... I don't know, but somebody says, just wild speculation, but could this be circumvented by a direct snap to a running back or by having a different player without the ball pretend to be the kneeler? So
direct snap to the defensive tackle.
Dude, could you imagine that? The Niners head out, all of a sudden, QB Sheldon Day comes out. Just goes through the line. Oh, that'd be perfect. We spent way too much time on that. I'm sorry.
I know, but
that was a curiosity that needed to be quenched, to be honest.
If I ever coach Pop Warner football, I'm going to do that.
We're quarterback kneeling, kids. This is what we're doing, but we're faking it. We're faking it to our big old lineman over there.
Then the offensive line kid's got this big, stupid, shit-eating grin on his face. He goes out there, and they're like, it's a snake!
Everyone was like, damn it.
Let's finish up this game. Seahawks came almost.
They came close. You can definitely tell that the Green Bay defense was getting tired.
Oh, yeah.
Because Aaron Rodgers and I think that's going to be a very that's a tough thing that they're going to have to get through because I don't think Mike Pettin runs a bad defense.
He runs a questionable defense.
Yeah, that's true, but like for the most part, like they're relatively consistent.
Packers are, mind you, they're an average defense.
Right. It's just that sometimes I feel like Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur aren't really.
I don't know, man. Did you see the way Aaron Rodgers looked at Matt LaFleur?
Yeah, they were about to kiss.
I texted my buddy Mark. I was like, Mark, whenever I talk about like wanting to be with a woman, I want a woman to look at me the way Aaron Rodgers looks at Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, it was funny. It was really funny. I understood what they were trying to do because they were trying to run down the clock, right? With Aaron Jones.
The problem is though sometimes trying not to lose is not trying to win.
Right. And that's where I was kind of like where I was getting nervous with. It happened to me a little bit in the San Francisco game, because I wasn't saying that the Niners were going to potentially give up the 17-point lead, but what I also was kind of thinking was, okay, I just hope that our defense doesn't start getting gassed. If we just keep on,
and thank God they
didn't. But we can thank that also for our depth because we can rotate guys.
We can rotate, yeah. I didn't see if Earl Mitchell got any snaps.
He did. I think he's 93, dude. He took DJ Jones' number. That's what. So he played. If I remember correctly, Earl Mitchell played 12 snaps of the defensive snaps, and it was 46 snaps for the defense. So
that's really not a lot of.
That's
snaps.
not a lot. Well, why would it be a lot when you have Defoe and
honestly, as weird as this sounds, I feel like the defense probably still had about half of it left in the tank.
Dude, it's because we ran the ball 46 times.
No, I know.
So there's no need for the defense to.
And you know what I'm all for? I'm all for the redemption of Tevin Coleman.
Oh yeah, dude, he played.
Because the Niners fans have been wanting his head the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I will gladly admit that I was one of those guys. It wasn't that I hate Tevin Coleman. It's just for me, I think Raheem Mostert was just better. He's much more slick and in my opinion, he has better vision. But
I'll definitely say Raheem Mostert's had some really good vision.
Yeah. So, but Tevin Coleman completely decided to shove his big old balls in my face yesterday and smack me with them. I'm chilling with that. I would totally always be wrong when the Niners do well. I don't care.
Oh yeah.
So
why do you think I'm always so pessimistic? I love eating shit.
Yeah. But beyond that, the Packers, congratulations. We'll see you guys in Santa Clara and hopefully, you know.
And the Chiefs, I guess, they're going to Baltimore. Wait, there's another game to talk about.
The most interesting game, huh, Migs?
I was saying it for a long time.
Who would have thunk it, huh?
I'll tell you who thunk it.
You thunk it.
I thunk it. I know, it was this weird feeling. I just had this weird feeling. I said it. Either the Ravens were going to go all the way and win the Super Bowl, or they were going to get knocked out in the divisional by some team that really had no business being there.
Mm-hmm. And it happened. It happened.
All on the back of Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Derrick. Dude, crazy stat. Ryan Tannehill threw for 14 times, 7 completions for 72 yards, 2 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown.
And they dominated.
And Mark Henry, what the hell? Derrick Henry, again, 188 yards and a touchdown. He did it all.
And the Ravens ended up going into that 6-1 defense again.
I'm going to have to go watch that because I definitely...
It should just be called the Henry defense.
No linebackers. Just send everyone. But
imagine if you had I get why they just kept running it because they were just trying to waste out the clock, but and also you're playing it against a really good secondary,
right?
But if you're not playing a great secondary and you have a good receiver, that's the perfect time for play action.
Oh yeah, of course.
Until you have one just completely unblocked guy just comes screaming at the quarterback,
right.
Just like the J.R. Alexander sacked on Russell
Oh, dude,
Wilson.
that was crazy. Yeah, that was a good one. That was actually. I forgot about that play, Miggy. Now you just refreshed my memory.
But anyways, getting back to this, I liked how Derrick Henry stiff-armed Earl Thomas so
Turned
hard.
him into his lead blocker.
He turned him into his lead blocker. You know, I think it would have gotten the ultimate meme treatment had he just taken him and pushed him into another
a guy.
Ravens
Yeah,
player.
right.
If he just turned him into a bowling ball and just took out a pin with him, Derrick Henry would get my vote in 2020.
Dude, Derrick Henry,
President of the United States, he'll be like, we'll run it down Iran's throat.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy how he. I remember Earl Thomas. I mean, he still is sort of, but like Earl Thomas, like, oh, dude, scary, man, scary physical,
We wanted
safety.
him.
Of course. I mean, I would take him still.
Jimmy Ward's not quenching your thirst for the safety position enough? It's okay because he's not quenching mine.
No, he's not. As much as I do love Jimmy Ward this year, no, I don't trust him enough. But beyond that, I'm sorry.
I'll trust him for 2 more games, hopefully.
Yeah, that's it. But Earl Thomas, most physical safety, scary safety, and Derrick Henry just turned him into his fucking bitch, dude.
Little boy.
That's it. That's all it took, and it wasn't. I'm not exaggerating. I don't know who listens that like doesn't watch football. That'd be weird, but he just straight up
to our voices.
Yeah, they just like listening to it's ASMR. He turned him around like a little boy.
Oh, okay. I hope I saved this. It was. Actually, no. You're gonna have to like age restrict this video if I fucking start saying this. It was straight up something I read the other day. It was Andy Reid fan fiction.
Are you gonna do it?
I don't know if I can find it. It's
Well, while you're finding it, I'm just gonna finish my sentiment really quickly on the Earl Thomas thing. Earl Thomas was just. I've never seen a safety like that was so feared being manhandled like that. He made Earl comment on people's posts about that afterwards. Like immediately after the game, Earl was like, "Wow, you have to do me like that. You have to do me like that." Obviously joking around, but I don't think Earl's ever been like that. It's like, damn, Earl, you really got just demolished by this bigger guy. And how tall is Derrick Henry? Like 6'3".
He's tall.
6'3" or 6'4", 230. Dude, his jersey doesn't even fit. They don't even give him like the jersey that covers his belly at all. He's just running and he's up there like with almost kind of like a crop top the entire game.
No, yeah. I'm still trying to find this. It was bad. It's on the Kansas City Chiefs subreddit, and it's terrible. It's like they have like a straight up like sex scene between Andy Reid and Mike McCarthy. and oh Lord, they talk about jelly donuts at one point, and it's traumatic.
We're gonna have to find it after we're done recording this.
Yeah, no.
But
put it in the video description.
Yeah, just here, link in the description.
I'm not gonna do it. I'll put it as a comment maybe.
For sure. Okay. But the Baltimore Ravens being held to 12 points was also crazy.
They shut down the run. They forced them to pass.
Again, I think that goes all back to the Tennessee, like the defense. They all are speedy guys. They could maintain. And if I remember correctly, they actually put a spy on Lamar, so they always kept him like on the sidelines. He was bound to get a big run. Obviously,
yeah.
Eventually, you can't stop that.
It came at the point of the game where
it was too late.
Matter.
It was too late by that point. And like I think I remember he amassed for like 75% of like the total yards of the Ravens. I know that it's just one game, but they were turned into a one-dimensional team at that point.
No, they were.
There was absolutely, and even Tennessee was one-dimensional at that point. Just run it, but they couldn't do anything about it. No Matthew Judon, nothing. There was absolutely nothing. I don't even know if Ryan Tannehill was even sacked, dude. He probably wasn't at all.
He might have been, but no, yeah. So that's why this has been a weird playoffs for the AFC.
Yeah, it has really been.
The NFC is the 1 seed versus the 2 seed in the championship.
Right. I'm happy, but yeah, it's like a very
it's very vanilla.
Yeah.
But we have a 6 seed that beat a 3 seed that should have been a 2 seed. And then
go on to beat the Super Bowl favorite, like the Super Bowl favorite.
Yeah. And Now, the new standings currently are the Chiefs are the Super Bowl favorites. The 49ers are the second favorites. The Titans are the third favorites.
Damn, so the Green Bay Packers are at the they're still in the playoffs, but they're at the bottom of the list.
Mm-hmm. It's because it's what momentum can do. Green Bay kind of limped to the end against a Seattle team and now have to play a better team.
Right. Yep.
Say what you want. Seattle did beat San Francisco one of the two times they played, but San Francisco is the overall better team.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle just...
Well, I mean, it's inevitable.
It's a divisional game, too.
Right.
So
just remind me if I forget, but like, they're the first game that Niners played against Green Bay was dominant. It was also dominant, crazy dominant too.
But Green Bay didn't change everything up.
No, right. But what I'm saying is like, and that game was without D Ford, and it was also without. I mean, I know that a lot of people were excited for Quan to come back. I mean, he
played fine.
Yeah, that's all I could describe it to.
Yeah, he did fine. Like nothing against him, nothing. He
if
filled
anything,
in for a role because, in all honesty, I do think he helped because he could in the run. If we came out there in our nickel coverages, they would have been able to run probably for more.
Right. But I think for him it was more about like the, like kind of the bravado and like the emotional, like
100%.
He was there for like that. I'm not saying he's a bad player.
Hot boys.
Yeah, right. Hot Boys University. I love that introduction. But I definitely think that Green Bay's gonna pull out some try. I don't think it's gonna be like the Viking game. I think it's definitely going to be closer than that.
Probably.
I still think, I'm just going to fucking say it. I think the Niners are going to go to the Super Bowl. So, Super Bowl.
I'm never going to count my chickens before they hatch. I've been hurt before. Listen, dude, this is our fourth NFC title game we've seen with the Niners. We've only advanced once.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I'm just going to keep my... emotions in check. However, this is the second NFC title game where we're the home team. So,
Niners at the Super Bowl. That's what he's trying to say.
Or we get giantsed by the Packers.
Right. You're right.
But we don't have Cowboys. So
I'm just excited. I'm just a very very emotional guy. I love my team.
But yeah, so we're gonna have to see. I know everybody in the NFC is pulling for us to keep the Packers out, except maybe the Seahawks and the Rams and the Cardinals.
I know the Cowboys are rooting for us.
The Cowboys are rooting for us. It's so strange. I will take your enthusiasm.
Okay, cool. As long as you take my enthusiasm, Miggs. That's all
I'm talking to the Cowboys.
Well, no. You're taking mine though too, right?
Too, yeah. No, I'll take the enthusiasm.
Taking all of it.
I hope they don't let us all down.
I hope so. I hope not either. The playoffs are the playoffs, and I'm always kind of scared.
You know what? I haven't really seen a lot from Shanahan because he hasn't had to play from behind yet.
In the playoffs or in general?
Yeah.
I was like, in general, man. I mean,
really, like
New Orleans and...
Yeah, but guess what? We pulled that out when we were behind. Honestly, the offense for the Niners is very kind of... Meh. Because they run such basic plays most of the time. Look, the Niners run like 2 or 3 concepts an entire drive.
Right, but like the thing is that Kyle gets you with subtle changes.
Subtle changes, yeah. Because all of a sudden you're like, oh, they're doing this play again. But you're used to the fullback being the one doing this route. Right, and then slower. All of a sudden now it's a wide receiver doing it.
So now it's faster.
Now it's faster, and you got a linebacker trying to catch up to a receiver.
But I think that's the beauty of it, because like Mike and Mike takes from his dad. Mike was never like, oh, let's
Kyle
try
takes from Mike.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I still remember the game, those kids who...
They were just like, yeah.
And then afterwards, one of the kids talking to him, you see again, and he's like, I wonder if the kid's like, how do you become a coach in the NFL?
Right. No. You just got to play ball all the time. Just play ball. But,
your name's Speedhawk?
But,
you're the Speedhawk I've been told about.
You. Oh, you're going to join my team? Fucking takes the kid and he's like, you're my new coach. He fucking takes him everywhere. It's like, I want to see my mom. No. You're going to be the next Shanny.
Listen, Speedhawk.
Speedhawk, too. Speedhawk Shanahan. But beyond that, like, Mike and Kyle, again, they take it where it's like, I'm not going to do anything crazy. We're just going to change things little by... Like, we're going to change little things.
If the Niners make the Super Bowl, though, I bet you Kyle completely puts everything out there. I think he goes for everything.
We're gonna let George Kittle throw a ball.
Dude, George Kittle becomes the first person in Super Bowl history to catch a touchdown, throw a touchdown, run for a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Fuck it, we bring him in to kick afterwards.
He makes a field goal too.
It's a fake field goal.
So he throws it to Jimmy or to like Mitch.
Jimmy. He throws it to Jimmy. We San Francisco special him. That's actually called something else. But well, that's never mind. We gotta keep this PG.
Yeah. I mean, we've already cussed.
We said fuck so many times.
You said it again.
Well, I know.
Damn it.
Fuck.
But anywho, any other topics you want to touch on, Migs? No, bless you. That's what we're gonna leave it on. We're gonna leave it on your sneeze.
Fuck the Bears.
That's what we're gonna leave it on. Well, anywho, thank you so much for whoever was listening. We'll see you hopefully after the conference.
After the end of the second half of the playoffs.
Okay, for sure.
Just after the Super Bowl.
All right. Well, catch you guys later.